In this video, I'm continuing the Utah trip from my previous videos, and I'm visiting Canyonlands National Park. Canyonlands is sort of like a mini Grand Canyon, where it's maybe not as deep, but the views are just as wide and expansive. I drove into Moab, a city near where the park is located, and actually ended up getting pulled over by a cop for going a little too fast. But luckily I talked my way out of a ticket. Quick stop at McDonald's for lunch, and man, those fries look good. Here are some more views from the road as I drove from Moab into the park, and it's amazing how you can already start to see the red rock cliffs towering above the sides of the highway. Here I'm starting to go up in elevation, and you can see much more of the surrounding landscape. Up at this elevation, I could see that there was actually a snowstorm from the night before, and even though it was March already, the temperatures were almost freezing during the day. As always, my first stop was the visitor center, where I grabbed a park map and looked at some of the exhibits. This right here is an overlook of Schaefer Canyon, where you can see thousands of feet down, as well as part of the dirt road that goes all the way up from the bottom. Feel free to pause the video and check out this infographic if you're interested. And here's some more incredible views of Schaefer Canyon and the Schaefer Trail, which again is the road that goes all the way down and up the canyon. Now I'm pretty sure that road was closed on this day due to the weather, but even if it weren't, I probably wouldn't have driven on it because it's, not gonna lie, kind of sketchy. Good news, the weather finally cleared up a bit, and the skies got more blue as I drove to probably the most famous point in the park. A quick less than 1 mile hike would lead me to, again, one of the most popular places in the entire park. But for the time being, I just enjoyed the views of the white snow on the red rock landscapes, which is something pretty spectacular. Eventually I reached Mesa Arch, which you can see right here, obviously with the crowds and all, and this is the view from right underneath it. I've heard that sunrise is the best time to see the views around this place, and obviously the weather wasn't the best on this day, but even so, you can still see so far off into the distance, and even the details of all the grooves and ridges of the canyon. I continued the hike back and saw a cool little cactus buried in the snow, which is something that you don't see every day. Just continuing the drive here, as my next stop is gonna be another short hike, this one around 2 miles or so. Here I'm starting out the trail to Upheaval Dome, one of the most unique and mysterious geological features in the park. The hike is a nice little uphill stroll through more unique red rock formations and small trees here and there. Now this is the Upheaval Dome. It's a gigantic crater with a different colored, sharp, and jagged dome at the bottom of it, and scientists are actually unsure about its origins. Of course, you can read about it here, but basically the two working theories are that it was either created by a meteor strike or formed from a thick layer of salt flow. That's the long story short version of it. I kept on hiking to reach the second overlook of the Upheaval Dome, and along the way I saw some puddles from snowmelt as well as some really cool steps carved into the side of the rock. Another really cool thing about this hike was just seeing all the squared off cliffs far in the distance. As you can see, it was very windy and cold up here, but the views more than made up for it. A fun fact about Canyonlands I don't think I mentioned earlier is that the park is actually so big that it's split into 3 districts: the Island in the Sky, the Needles, and the Maze. In this video I'm just spending time at the Island in the Sky district, which is the most popular and most accessible one, but it would definitely be cool to come back one day and visit the other 2 districts as well. Anyways, here's some more footage of the hike on the way back to the trailhead. Next stop was the Green River Overlook, and honestly this was probably my favorite viewpoint in the entire park, because you can see all the way down into the river. I also caught it at just the right time around golden hour and as the skies were starting to clear a little bit. Obviously, I had already done a lot of driving by this point, but I had one more main stop to make, which was the White Rim Overlook, another very popular spot. As you can see, the sunset views here are just incredible, and I was actually planning to do the 2-mile hike to walk along the edge of the canyon, but it got so windy and cold at that point that I decided not to. That's probably the reason why I didn't really see anyone else there either. Anyways, for this last minute or so, here's some clips from a few other viewpoints I stopped by on the way back. All in all, Canyonlands is really such a beautiful park. I consider it like a mini Grand Canyon without the crowds, essentially. The only one downside is that it's more so of a driving and stopping at viewpoints kind of park and doesn't have too many great day hikes, aside from very short ones, at least in the Island in the Sky district. Anyways, thanks for watching. As always, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you enjoyed the video or learned something new. I got some insanely cool stuff coming up, including a backpacking trip up in California that I just got back from, and here are a few clips from that.